Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace here, dropping in on you. I hope that you've gotten your week off to a good start. We've reached the midway point, so to speak, hump day, and now we can push through today, and we should be able to see how we're going to close out our week. Or we can also use this as a day of examination and introspection to see what adjustments can be made to increase the chances of a better outcome for the week. I believe it was Socrates that says the unexamined life is not worth living. And it is extremely important that we take the time to consistently look within and examine where we are, what we're doing, how we're doing it, um, how we're setting the course of our life through our thoughts, our behaviors, our habits, and what adjustments can be made to increase the chance of a better outcome. That should be your focus all the time, your destination, your outcome, your results. And when you are looking at where you're at, you're getting an idea or a picture that allows you to project out and get an assessment of where you will likely land in the next day and the next week and the next month and the next year. And if you don't like the results you're seeing in your projections, you have a chance to make adjustments today that will happen to and help to change those results. That's how you do it. You sit up and you ask. When people come to me, the first thing that I ask them is, what is the outcome you're looking for? What are the results you're looking for? What, you know, not I want to be better, not I want a better marriage, not I want to be wealthy. Those are very ambiguous terms. I want to know very specifically, if you look a year from now, what is it that you want in specifics? If it's to do with money, I want a specific amount. If it's to do with your relationship with your wife or your husband, I want to know, what is it? You need better communication. You need more time together. You need a more consistent and loving connectivity where understanding and respect and love is all encompassed. What is it that you need? And the more clear and the less ambiguous and nebulous your vision or understanding of the results you're looking for, the better you'll be able to calibrate the compass of your mind to go out and get it. That's extremely important. But today's 5 minutes of fire is about the stories we tell. And when I'm speaking of the stories we tell, I'm speaking in specific to the stories we tell ourselves. See, the number one influencer of why you don't have what you say you want is the story that you consistently tell yourself. See, you can talk about what you want, but if your story says, I wish I was that good, that is implicit, and your brain immediately interprets it as you accepting the fact that you can't. And then if you sit up and say, I'm not good at things like that, I can't do that, that's not what I'm at, I've always been poor. You're constantly reinforcing a negative narrative. You're telling a story. You got to keep in mind, you've heard me say this before. Look, your brain is unbelievably exceptional, carrying the capacity to process 400 billion bits of data, of information per second. And it can do exceptional and extraordinary things that no supercomputer on this planet can do when you totally optimize it, access it, and use it to your benefit. It is extraordinary. Yet, it needs you to upload the right software. It needs you to run the right operating system. And that's the problem. See, your self-talk is the operating system that your computer will run. If you're talking negative about your life, if you're speaking negativity into your life, if you're constantly highlighting where you struggle, you are programming your brain to work from that place of reality. Your brain will not go out and find opposing views and ideas to counteract your negative self-talk. Your brain will go out and find ideas and facts and truths that will underwrite and support your self-talk. So you have to guard your self-talk. Your self-talk is what's out there. The thoughts that monopolize your mind, those thoughts that are in your mind constantly and consistently the most, will develop into who you are in the future. That you're becoming your thoughts, and the words you speak about yourself. You are constantly evolving into the speech that you speak about yourself. And see, in addition to that, I believe it was Harley Davidson that says, when you are writing the story of your life, never let anyone else hold the pen. But the problem is, a lot of y'all are living lives and retelling stories from some narrative that someone else wrote for your life. Someone told you you would never be good at this. Someone told you you would be just like so and so and so. Someone told you you would never be anything but sorry. Someone told you that you weren't that smart. Someone told you that you weren't capable. Someone told you that you will always be poor. Someone told you. And somewhere along the line, it set in and it took root. And you began to speak it yourself without even maybe consciously being aware of the fact that you were doing it. But you were subconsciously writing a narrative that was a repetition of an erroneous story that was told to you in the past that you accepted as truth, and you took it in and it became a limiting belief, and your speech is consistently rewriting it, and it may be evolving, but it's the same story. It's the same story. You're telling yourself what someone else told you. And it may be a primary level label giver. It may have been your parents. It may have been your first grade teacher. It may have been someone in your religious organization. It could someone with enough authority that you have assessed to them, that you took them at their word. And then you accepted their minimal minded assessment of who you are and what you are capable of, instead of understanding that in your very DNA is the outline and the blueprint for greatness. Excuse me. So you sit up and you consistently talk. You consistently talk. And you consistently talk about what you can't do, where you're at, what you don't have, why it'll never work. Let me explain something to you. You've got to correct the story you're writing. You're living out the narrative that you're speaking. You're writing your story. You're writing the story of your life with the narrative that you're telling yourself every day. What does your self-talk reveal about where you're going in the future? Are you talking about your lack consistently? Are you talking about your incapability consistently? Are you talking about what you don't have and what you can't do and why it won't work consistently? You got to change that. You got to shift your paradigm. You got to rewrite the narrative. You got to take on life and understand that life is literally responding to you. The universe is responding to you. It's waiting on you to speak the words of faith that will dictate how it moves on your behalf. Now, here's the thing that most people don't understand about faith. Faith is binary. Faith is just like everything else in the universe, is binary. And what does that mean? It's only two parts. It's the positive and the negative. It's the up and the down. It's the forward, it's the back, however you want to look at it. But when it comes to faith in this world, the binary reality of faith is it can be both positive and negative. When most people speak of faith, they only speak of and think of it in a positive sense. I have faith that something good is going to happen. But see, when you believe something bad is going to happen, that's faith too. And faith moves things, whether it's negative or positive. See, nobody ever examined that. See, when you call things that are not as though they were, it's not only good, it's bad too. And a lot of you are calling bad things to come into fruition through your negative self-talk. You are literally speaking exactly what you don't want into your life, to the point that you start to believe that's all you'll ever have. Never really even understanding that you're the one that's bringing it. See, life is sitting there waiting on you. The world is sitting there. The universe is sitting there saying, okay, what is it that you're demanding of me? Because the universe or life, however you want to call it, God will pay you whatever price you demand. Whatever you demand and believe that you can have, and your behavior will reflect that, and your beliefs will reflect that. Your thoughts will be a reflection of your beliefs. Your words will be a reflection of your thoughts, and your behavior will be a reflection of the words you speak. And then your results will be a reflection of all of those things that preceded it. And you will get exactly what you sit up and said you will get. You are, and see, that's it. Faith is binary. And so is everything else in the world. So you've got to get out of this mindset that I'm kind of spiritual, that I'm doing kind of okay. See, you are either committed or you're not committed. You're doing what you should be doing or you're not doing what you're being great or you're being mediocre. See, that mindset of that, you know, I've got these in-betweens that I can try to just coast through life. No, see, you are either where you should be or you're not. You're either speaking the right story in your life or you're not. You're either committed to the fight or you're not. We create all these little extra standards and assessments and declarations in our lives to make us feel better about not being what we should be. But see, the thing is, you're either there or you're not. You're either gonna get out on the battlefield and go for it or you're not. How you paint the picture for everybody else to think that you're trying to make it and you're doing okay doesn't matter. You know that you're not where you're supposed to be. My question is, do you understand why? You know what my greatest concern is? My greatest concern is that people show up and watch these videos, or come out to some place that I'm speaking, or buy one of my books, or get one of my programs. And then especially these videos, though, because these videos are, you know, anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour. And you sit down there, depending on how committed you are to watching or listening, or maybe you just need some little thing to just get you going, and you get that and you're off of it and you're gone. But look, my biggest concern when I do these videos is that people are going to show up and be inspired, get emotionally charged by the video, but then get off of the video and immediately start experiencing a declining arc in that intensity, in that emotion, in all that they experience while watching the video, without taking one step towards their destiny. See, my idea of doing this is just finding the few people that are willing to hear what I'm saying and take the next step. Like Dr. King said, I'm looking for people that are willing to take the first step without seeing the entire staircase. Just take the first step and believe that the step that you're about to take has footing and foundation, and worry about the entire staircase as you approach each step. You don't need to have everything lined up that will allow you to be what you need and desire and hope to be. You just need to have the understanding that if I commit and take the first step, I initiate a journey in which I am going to move closer and closer to becoming what I desire to be. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not an overnight journey, but you've got to be willing to take the first step. And that step is not necessarily going to reveal itself in totality, holistically, giving you everything you need to know about what's behind it. You've got to be willing to take the step. You've got to be able to walk. My question as I shut this down today: what is your faith contributing to the story that you're writing about your life? Because see, you're writing a story with your self-talk. You're writing a story with the way you speak about yourself to others. You're writing a story in the thoughts that monopolize your mind. You're writing a story, but what is your faith contributing to it? See, your faith is contributing something, but you misunderstand faith. You don't understand. You give power to faith when it's something positive. If I can just get to the point where I can believe this, then I can get all these positive things. But what you're failing to miss is that faith is binary. Faith works both ways. If you believe something bad is going to happen to the extent that you truly believe it, that's faith, and faith will bring that bad thing. A lot of you are thinking and speaking a lot of bad things and negativity. I'm not telling you that you can use your mind to avoid all conflict and challenges, and that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is the consistent life you're living is a reflection of your faith. Oh, a lot of people are not going to like that. Because see, you want to say it's just God's will. No, 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 no. See, that's not how this thing works. It's easy to blame God on the slide. That's all it is. When you keep saying that you are not where you should be because it's God's will, I didn't get it because it's God's will. I'm not wealthy because it's God's will. I don't have a good, strong marriage because I guess it's just God. I guess I got the divorce because it's God. No, no, no. When you going to start talking about these decisions you're making that are a direct reflection of the things you're thinking? When are you going to be accountable for the thoughts you entertain on a regular basis that are literally laying out step by step the life you're leading? Go back, retrace it, retrace it. See, that's one of the problems we face. We want people to come in and sweet talk us. Tell us about how if we just sit here and speak positive things in one aspect, but have all these other things going. See, there's a thing in difference. When you really and truly engage and start to believe it, there will be a consistency in your self-talk. But when you're saying something positive because somebody told you to say it, the moment that you get into the root of the day and you start to move around and you're no longer in a conscious mode where you are operating by the thing that drives 85% of your behavior, your subconscious, you'll stop speaking and you'll start speaking what you really think. And you'll do it without even knowing it. So you'll shift from the little bit of positive you say to the big, huge, just downpour of negativity you keep pouring out in energy and in words and in thoughts every day. I'm not telling you some metaphysical idea or thought or conversation. I'm telling you things that have been measured by science and experienced by man. I'm telling you what I've lived in my life. Watch yourself talk. It will explain your situation. And let me explain something now. When I say your self-talk will explain your situation, I didn't say it was the moment you change your self-talk that the situation will change. But what will change is how you view it and how you engage it and the confidence that comes from understanding that if you just push hard enough, if you stay committed enough, you'll get through it. The energy changes, and the energy is what attracts. Energy is resonant. What does that mean? It resonates with like energy. It will not attract. You will not be on a negative plane attracting positive things. I don't care how much you wish for it. Yeah, you're going to have to understand these things. You're going to have to change the way you're thinking because a lot of you are moving along negative faith and don't even realize it. You're speaking and calling things into existence that are not. The problem is what you're calling ain't good. Look, the power to write the narrative of your life is actually infinite, unparalleled, and omnipotent. The better you get at it, the more you're able to do. The things you're able to overcome, again, are infinite. But you bought the story someone else wrote for you. You let somebody else hold the pen that writes the narrative of your life. And when they passed it back to you, they passed it back to you with a half-written story with nothing but negative lies in it. And you read it and you believed it and you finished writing the chapter. Throw that chapter away. Start over. This time, write out the narrative. Not about where you're at or where you came from, but with a focus on where you're going. All of my heroes came from meager beginnings, tough starts, rough moves. Why? I needed to know that everything I was going to come in contact with, I knew somebody that had been through it and won. And that if they did it, I could do it. See, when you find some people that have been where you've been, gone through what you've gone through, had it rougher than you had it, and yet they made it, they wipe away the excuses. They make you face accountability of the impact you're having on your reality. Yeah, they take you to a place where there's no way or no one to point a finger at. Make you look in the mirror. make you man up, make you own up, make you stand up. Yeah, that's my greatest concern, is that you're going to get motivated by watching these videos, and then you're going to get off and immediately start to experience a declining arc in the emotional charge you have, and you never will take a step towards changing your life. There's all type of excuses of why. You've got to take a step. You've got to take that step of faith. You've got to be willing to step out into the unknown and plant your foot firmly, like you know there's ground there. Send a message to the world, to the universe, to God, that I'm here. And watch the universe, watch life, watch God respond to you. You're always being met at the level of your expectations. You will never be consistently engaged above the level of your expectations, meaning you will not consistently have anything greater than what you expect. When you really step back, your faith is basically the outline of what you expect out of life. You expect poverty. You expect conflict. You expect to be in last place. You expect to be kicked around. You expect to be mishandled. You expect to be at the back end of what life is delivering to the world. And that's what you're getting. You are right. You are literally rehearsing and regurgitating a narrative that was written for you a long time ago about someone else that was confused. They may have meant you well, but they miswrote your story. It's your responsibility to reclaim the sovereignty of writing your story. It's your responsibility to take back that pen. It's your responsibility to write with great specificity the outcome that you desire, and to stand in faith and believe that it will happen. Because it's that belief that will drive your actions. It's that belief that will create the energy you emit. It's that belief that will set the course of the rest of your life. You got to own the accountability. It's time to stop pointing the finger. It's time to stop blaming. Almost all of you can talk about what other people have done, but how many are ready to sit down and talk about the choices you've made, the words you've spoken, the thoughts you've entertained, the decisions you've made? Look, there's absolutely nothing in this world that you can't accomplish. The only limitations you have are the ones you accept with your mind. Period. There's no debate on it. It's a proven fact that when you erase limiting beliefs and you start to elevate the standard by which you engage life and what you will demand of life, life will bow down. The universe will respond. The universe is sitting up listening on you to tell it what to do. You have the power to literally speak and call things that are not as though they were. The question is, what things are you calling into reality with your self-talk? Look, I got to get out of here. Look, the link to the site for Visionetics Institute is in the post field, the description box. You can go check out. There's a lot of information on that site, a lot of resources and programs I offer. If you are interested in working directly with me, there's an email in this same post box. Email us and someone will respond immediately to talk to you about or to engage you about working with me. Again, I don't accept everybody that comes. I only work with people who are truly committed. Care how much money you got. I need to know you're committed. I need to know you're sold out to changing. You're ready to take those steps, because change and accomplishment, while the process, when you understand it and know it, is one that is highly understandable. And if you take the time to learn it and know it, it's grueling. It's challenging. It's going to hit you. It's going to knock you down. It's going to push back. And you've got to be committed enough. You got to be so focused on that destination, that destiny, that outcome, that absolutely nothing's going to stop you. That's the kind of commitment I'm looking for when I have that first consultation is, are you that committed? That's who I work with, because we don't want to waste each other's time. And I don't want you wasting your money if you're not committed. But I can tell you that when you're committed, you'll get the changes, you'll get the results. I'll do my part and you'll do your part and we'll get there. That is a foregone conclusion when you're committed. With that being said, I am going to check out of here. I've got to get going. Um, have an unbelievable day. Live your life to the fullest. As I always say, I'm going to live my life on full each and every day. So that when I leave this place, I die on me. I encourage you to do the same thing. I'm out. Peace.